Hey Facebook. Yeah, so you read the caption right. My doctors gave me 6 months to a year. September 10th, I was diagnosed with stage 3 infantile something ductile breast cancer, whatever. Because I'm not claiming it. But yeah, very devastating. I was you know, went through a series of labs, biopsies, to really understand what was going on. I've traveled around, getting third and second and fourth and fifth opinions. And yeah, it was confirmed that, yes, I currently have stage 3 breast cancer. And throughout my journey, I've decided to keep it a little private. But over time, I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to go ahead and speak my truth. For the simple fact, today it just like really hit me. I went to work, typical day. My treatment's tonight. I'm on my fourth. I got 4 more treatments left. And yeah, I went to work and it was like 5 different people. All of them had cancer. Bowel cancer, pancreatic cancer, breast cancer, gallbladder cancer, And I'm just sitting there like, fuck. Like, everybody has fucking cancer, And over the last few months, I decided to go ahead and start really researching, and understanding what I'm going through, And a big chunk of it I've learned has an essential amount to do with my diet. Reason why I went vegan, And today it was just like nostalgic, just looking at all those people that have passed on and transitioned and understanding that I'm one of them potentially, it really fucked my head up, I'm not gonna lie. And what made me decide to go ahead and speak about it today, the strangest thing was a complete stranger just walks up to me and grabs me and gives me a hug. And I broke. Like, I literally broke because I didn't even understand where she came from. I didn't understand what that was about, but I'm starting to think that that was maybe just an angel that got sent to me, because, of course, I've rejected chemo. I rejected, all the traditional things that doctors tell you need to do. And a big chunk of it was I went raw vegan. And my labs, coincidentally, lately have been coming back undetected. My cancer's undetected. Doctors can't explain it, So I know that that it has a lot to do with how I've been taking care of my body, But it still doesn't leave the fact that I'm scared as fuck and I'm not really understanding why this happened to me, Nevertheless, it has happened and I'm working through it. And this is part of my new journey, I thought that the biggest hurdle was going to be me getting my building, getting my hearse, which I should be getting in another week or two. Yeah, that's a positive thing, but still scary because it's like, do you do all these things when a doctor tells you you have 6 months to a year? Or do you keep fighting and then you keep moving? There's some days I feel like fighting, and then there's days like today, especially seeing all these people, around me that are going through the same stuff I'm going through. Just really, mentally, it hit hard. But I know that with God, I know with myself, because I don't take no shit from nobody. I know that I'm strong, and I know that I'll beat it. As I said before, I'm not doing anything traditional. I feel fine. It's been about 3 months, 4 months that I've known, and, I don't know. I just felt like I needed to share it, especially after I had what I believe was an angel just come out of nowhere and just give me this random hug and say, I beat stage 4 cancer less than a month ago. She came from nowhere. And she told me it was going to be okay. So I want to believe that it's going to be okay. It's just, I'm tired of being strong. I'm tired of always being on point, you know. It's time for me to just really let go and be vulnerable and let shit fall the way it falls. You know, support or no support, it is what it is. I know a lot of people aren't going to understand why I'm not going to do the chemo, why I'm not going to go through all these other changes with my body, but that's my choice. I chose that route because I don't want to go down a road that I've seen others go down. They go through all these changes with their body, you know, health-wise, you know, especially with chemo. It can kill you before the cancer itself. And I feel like if I only have 6 months to a year, why not fight it my way? Instead of, hey guys, thank you too. You know, hey, I'm sorry, I'm just in a mode right now. But, you know, I just feel like if I'm going to fight it my way. Why fight it the way everybody else has been fighting it? Because everybody else has been fighting it has ended up coming to see me. So I don't want to have to see me without trying to fight it in a way that I believe would be really successful. I had a cousin pass away about almost a year ago. A little younger cousin of mine from cancer. And during his trials and tribulations, my sister, who is awesome when it comes to cleanses, detoxes, and really researching stuff, back then was trying to help him. And, you know, she reached out, you know, but not everybody is ready to make that drastic change, because this is a hard decision I made to go raw, to go vegan, to go, to just completely, you know, hey, Vondalia, you know, to just go completely, you know, out of my normal. Anybody know me, know I love food, you know, so it's very challenging that I'm not eating right now, you know. But especially, I started researching, and one of the books I read was this. And this book right here confirmed 90% of what I've learned through Dr. Sebi, what my sister's been saying for the last few years. And, you know, but doctors can't explain. Some doctors can, because I've actually researched. There's a few Georgetown doctors and a few doctors that I've actually been listening to and tried to reach out to get more clarity on the diet and how diet can affect your body and how diet can cause cancer. You know, right now, my BUNs, every single lab that I've taken since going raw vegan is completely depleted. I'm not on birth control anymore. I'm not on blood pressure medicine anymore. My stress levels, of course, are out the roof because of my emotions, but everything is low. My cancer markers are undetectable, you know, and it's because I've been listening to my sister, reading this book, reading a lot of information on Dr. Sebi and what he had to say about the gut health and how gut health signals your brain and everywhere else to be able to, you know, that causes these issues and these health elements, you know. So along with that, because I'm a little impatient and hard-headed, I decided to do radio surgery. So I commute to New York. I was going 4 days a week. Now I'm going once a week because my treatments are actually working. My breast is actually back to moving. My breast is back feeling soft again. You know, it had a big, hard, like golf ball size lump in it, you know, when I first found it in August, you know, and there's some scary shit. So the fact that I can actually lay on the same side where the tumor was at, you know, is amazing to me. And I know that what I'm going through now as far as the radio surgery is actually helping me. And then the fact that I went raw vegan is making my cancer very undetectable, which is also a blessing. I do labs every 2 weeks, you know, just to keep track of it for my own mental sanity, because I'm an anal person like that, and because I like to know, you know, what's going to happen. So, you know, yeah, that's my story for right now. You know, I don't know what more I could say, more I can do, but I did want to, you know, put it out there because I felt like that lady, Shirley, I'm gonna stop saying Shirley, that lady, she came from nowhere. And I was just looking, just like I'm looking today, you know, nothing out the ordinary. Going to Playa Bowls to get my fruit smoothie bowl so I could, get ready to go to New York for my treatment. As I said, I'll be ending treatments January 3rd. So after I, decided to do that, she just came up to me and gave me this big old hug, which, I needed. I didn't even realize how much I needed that hug until that stranger gave me that hug. No, I'm very single, so I know I don't have a man to lean on or anything like that. I'm okay with that, but, a hug that was very, 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 important at the moment to me, and it just made me feel like I needed to start speaking out about this and just let people know, like, yeah, I'm taking full control of my life. Yeah. What do you have for your body? Lawrence, hey, cuz, yeah, I agree. I met an herbalist, and his name is Yaqui Awakening, and he's actually somebody that Asha's affiliated with, and he gives you an actual program that is structured for your, based off your labs, to be able to give you herbs that are banned in the United States, that are banned, and it's basically other countries utilize these products to be able to cure and heal people, So as I showed you guys yesterday, this is the box. This is the company that I'm utilizing. And yeah, to help with this major intercellular detox, because what I'm understanding by reading this book and actually like researching really thoroughly, cancer is basically blocked up. It's basically like your lymph nodes are like the pipelines to your entire body. And what I've learned is basically like a garbage disposal, it's blocked up. My lymph nodes are blocked up right now, which is why I have the cancer. That's what the cancer is. It's blocked up, backed up mucus. So the key to it is I have to eliminate most of my mucus in my body. And that's with this strenuous diet that I'm going on. And also what I've learned, there's certain fruits and vegetables that have cancer fighting cells in them that actually attack the cancer directly. So like seeded grapes. So I spend like $150 every other day on seeded grapes, right? For real. Like I'm serious, like not playing with this whole cancer thing, and I feel great. I've had no major side effects except for the one, I just have tanning on my breast from the actual radio surgery. But I'm losing weight because I changed my diet. It's not because, I'm sick. I do everything like I normally did. It's just my mental is sometimes fucked up naturally. Somebody tells you have 6 months to a year to live. What do you expect? What do you think? But yeah, I'm not gonna let this take a toll on me. Just if you got it in you, say a few prayers, for me, and I appreciate it, Jordan. Thank you, Chris. Love you too, Mika. It's just crazy, especially, learning and seeing that a lot of people could possibly really overcome this by making some simple changes in their lives, especially when it comes to feeding your body. So now I only feed my body things that will attack the cancer. So if it doesn't attack the cancer, then I don't put it in my mouth. Because at this point, I'm trying to eat to live, not eat for satisfaction. Thanks, Robert. You can probably rewind it back, but yeah, basically, I was given a death sentence. Other hospitals told me stop what I was doing and just come and get on chemo to keep me comfortable for the next few months, and I'm like, fuck that. I'm definitely not allowing you to take me out and put me in hospice. I'm not claiming that. I'm not going to allow that. Before I go to hospice or go and, allow these doctors to fill me up with toxins. My question is to the doctors, because when I started on this journey, my sister went out, bought me all my, stuff, my pHs and stuff, my pH tablets and things like that. My pH when I began this journey was at 4.5. 4.5. It was acidic. So that just means that I was fucked up on the inside out. Now I'm at 6.75. Where in order for me to be alkaline, for my body to fight off any parasites, any diseases, anything, it needs to be 7 and higher. So I'm getting there just by doing the things that I've been doing, you know. And yeah, I did hear about your folks. I think Morgan had told me when I ran into her recently, Lawrence, about your folks. And I'm sorry about that, but I don't remember your friend, but he did tell me that your friend's wife had passed from stage 4. And, you know, that's very unfortunate, you know. But what I've learned also too is doctors, like they always do, they band-aid everything. They don't treat the actual cause or try to tell you what the actual cause is. It wasn't until I went to Cancer Treatment Centers of America in Atlanta, and they have a holistic program along with their oncologist team, and the holistic doctor decided to say, yeah, diet can play a major role. So one of my questions to him was, well, if diet can play a major role, why not get my body in a healthy alkaline state before you decide to just throw me on chemo, which can put more toxins in my body if my body is already at a toxic state? And he couldn't answer that. What did he say? In so many words, he had to be politically correct with his statement because he does work for the government, because everybody knows healthcare is not ran by anybody but the federal government, and it's all about the money, you know. So he couldn't explain it to me, but he said it was a very great question, and he danced around it, but he did confirm what I said, that getting my body in an alkaline state will ward off majority of toxins in your body. So really knowing that part, you know, I decided when that doctor tried to convince me to come back in 3 weeks to get on chemo, you know, which I'm so glad I didn't, because if I did, I would have been on chemotherapy, and then I had already just changed my diet. And about 3 weeks before that, when I got the actual diagnosis, I would have been on chemotherapy and my cancer was already undetected, just off the strength of me just really going and changing my diet. They say it has to be 36.8, your markers, and higher. Anything of that means your cancer is active, it's roaming through your body, you know, and it's attacking your body. Well, right now, mine's at 15. So it's non-detectable, it's dormant, it's not moving around, it's just where it's at, you know. And I'm going to claim that, you know, with what I'm doing, you know, I'm going to be healed. And I'm claiming that March is going to really fuck these doctors' heads up. Like right now, he's perplexed, especially he had to admit, he said, yeah, your breast is moving, Miss Morris. Like, I can't deny that from you. Yeah. He told me it was a quack, it's a joke. But like I told him, this is a radiation oncologist, double Harvard graduate, and he's been in the radiosurgery business for 48 years. Yes, he's a controversial doctor, but, you know, he knows his shit, because if he didn't, my insurance wouldn't cover it. It wouldn't be a situation where it would just be, it would have been more of a, I believe the insurance is the biggest thing. He can't be that bad if my insurance is covering him. And like I said, he's a double heart radiation oncologist, radiation oncologist. So I trust his judgment. And my father was actually had prostate cancer, stage 3, and he actually referred me to this doctor because, you know, my father refused chemo, my father refused all the standard treatments, and he went raw, and he's now cancer free, you know. And I have a brother that has Hodgkin's lymphoma, and from what I understand, since he's changed his diet, you know, his cancer's been in remission also. So, you know, it's definitely, you know, a journey. But I just say that I want to say this to say to people, work on yourself, keep your mind, body, and spirit in a good place, because stress really causes cancer, alcohol really causes cancer. What I learned is half the freaking foods we eat, I now read labels to the T, you know, and what I've learned is half the foods we eat cause cancer. And I was wondering why in France I didn't see certain foods that I see here. And now I realize they were banned here simply because they cause cancer. Something as simple as Ritz crackers. Something as simple as Utz potato chips, cottonseed oil. All of it's cancerous, and we just eat it like it's not no tomorrow. And we really think that, those days we eat those salads with that dressing is really helping us. But no, this is serious. Like, food is really fucking people up. And, to see somebody with gallbladder cancer, bowel cancer, pancreatic and breast cancer, all in the same situation, and passing away. And these people look generally like they could have been healthy, and just looking at that circumstance and realizing all of those people were like me, and we all just didn't know that what we put in our bodies really affects what we have going on for real. So, it's been 41 years of damage to my body, 41 years of seafood, 41 years of steak and potatoes, 41 years of whatever the fuck I wanted to eat, minus all the organs, because I don't eat organs. But, learning that and understanding that, and then really reading this book, and it just really messed my entire head up. Robert Morse, ND. I bought it on Amazon. Several other books I read, but this one is like a Bible. Like, he breaks it all the way down about HIV, everything. And he coincides with exactly what Dr. Sebi had been saying, and it's interesting that Dr. Sebi passed. And here's another part that's really funny. Why I do know that I'm going on the right path and I'm going to stick to believing that is because, especially going through my healing process with the natural herbs and stuff. My father's herbalist was recently murdered. So, the guy that I get my herbs from has to constantly move because they looking for him, So it just makes you wonder why. Oh, can't see the book clearly, Aunt Lisa. Sorry about that. Can you see it now? I'll take a picture of it too, and I'll post it on my page, so I have a still copy of it for people to look at. But me and my sister sat down and just read this book like it was the Bible. I sometimes just pick it up and read it again because it just messes my head up when he explains certain things in here about how the body actually works, and knowing that a lot of this could have been prevented. Because here's the thing that really made me believe that my lymph nodes were blocked up over here, which made my breasts blow up here. So for the first 4 weeks of my treatments, the doctor's only been focusing on my lymph nodes directly. And in those 4 weeks, the tumor started going away. So I'm like, how the fuck is it going away here? But, they're working over here. So right now, for the next 4 weeks, I'll be working directly on my breasts, So I'm asking, I'm like, hold up. I fell asleep last night because thank God I have a very good friend that's been letting me stay at his house in New Jersey. Been friends for over 15, 20 years. He's been a blessing. Just it wasn't even a hesitation when I called him. He can't just come up here, get a key, and you just go and come as you please. I got your back. So it was a blessing. He's been right there for me. So that was one less thing, but that's neither here nor there. But I was over my friend's house and, I'm asleep, and I realized I slept on my stomach, and I haven't slept on my stomach in months, because of the tumor being so uncomfortable. And I said, but I don't feel it anymore. And I'm asking, why don't I feel the tumor anymore? But you're working on my lymph nodes. And the doctor's like, well, we work on the entire breast, but our target is your lymph node because that's where we focus at first, because we have to break the lymph node cancerous cells down in order to focus on the tumorous cells that are in your actual your breast. And I said, oh, okay. I said, that makes complete sense. Again, after reading this book and understanding that your lymph nodes are the pipeline to your whole entire body. And once it expels through the lymph nodes, it goes through all your other secretions and it expels through your sweat, your urine and your feces or wherever else it could come out of. It just made more sense to unplug the lymph node and it would drain the tumor. So that might sound crazy to anybody that's looking or anybody that's thinking about what I'm saying. But to me, it makes sense, especially after reading this book. I'm just amazed at how fast. And the doctor was saying the same thing, He can't explain it. My DC doctor can't explain what's happening to my body right now. The only thing he keeps saying is, I just hope that you consider going on chemo. And I'm like, I'm not going on chemo. Chemo's gonna be my last resort. I'll do chemo once I actually have to. If nothing else works, I will go and do your chemo. But why should I worry about chemo right now when at the end of the day, you give me 6 months to a year to live, and I feel freaking great, and I just don't want to go through that change. Going to Cancer Treatment Center, there was a whole bunch of young black women in there, bald-headed, wheelchairs, just decrepit. And I said, I refuse to be that one. I'm not going to be that one. That's not me. It's never been me. I've always went off the grid. Everybody want pancakes, I get waffles. So everybody getting chemo, I'm going to do what I want to do. Why not? You give me 6 months to a year, there's no reason for me to not, try it my way. I have nothing to lose at this point. The only thing I have to lose is giving up and allowing them doctors, especially at Johns Hopkins. I went to the top notch, and I told Dr. Prowler, fuck you, fuck you. That's exactly how I said it. I am not going to let you put me on chemo to keep me comfortable for the next 6 months to a year, because that's the best care that you can give me at this moment in my life. I'm 41 years old, and you telling me that's the best you can do for me? Nah, I'm not going out like that. I'd rather go out fighting my way, knowing I tried to do something that I think is going to work, versus doing what I saw everybody else do, and they come and see me anyway. So that's just my theory. I might sound crazy, but again, what I'm learning, especially, and that's the thing, Ella. Doctors don't give you all your options, and that's why I went to 5 different hospitals between here and Atlanta, between New York and Atlanta. I went to the top hospitals, trying to get answers, because I pay top notch for insurance now, because I pay cash for insurance. So I said, I might as well go ahead and just fly around and figure out what it is. Thank you, Jesus, that I'm able to do that. It's just the timing of everything, because I haven't had insurance in 10 years, 15, I'm sorry. And I was at work back in June. And my office manager, Anika, who's been a godsend and my rider when it comes to this business, she came to me and said, Shay, you make the money. Why we ain't got no insurance? And I said, you know what, girl, I've been so busy making money, I forgot all about insurance. And every time I go to the doctor and get my breast exams and get my labs and everything, because I pay cash for everything, I said, I'm good. I said, but you know what, you're right. I should go ahead and just get some insurance. So June 1st of this year was my first time having insurance since I left Howard University Hospital. So it was just very ironic that I get insurance in June and then my diagnosis comes in September. Mind you, I've been getting all my mammograms and pap smears and whatever, my annual wellness, because I've been on birth control since I was 12 years old. So in order for me to be able to continue my birth control, I have to yearly go and see the doctor. And once I got to the age where mammograms were required, I have to do that as part of my regimen, crisp fast water fasting. Yes, I do water fasts every other day. Who's that? Who's that posted that? Can't see. But I'm not sure who's supposed to. Oh, yeah. I do water fast every other day, Aunt Lisa, as well. And like I said, again, I'm researching, but yeah. So anyway, so let me just tell you this part, because it gets really interesting. So I get my diagnosis in September, and so out of curiosity and the diligent person I am, because I'm in New York and I'm trying to figure out how does this get stage 3, but after my PET scan, now they're telling me it's possibly stage 4, so I'm like, how the fuck did I get to stage 4? But I've been getting my labs done every week. I'm not claiming stage 4, so I'm gonna stick with stage 3. And, I've been getting my labs every year. I've been getting my pap smears every year. I can't get my birth control without it. The funny thing is, this doctor looks at me and goes, well, y'all typically don't do mammograms. Y'all. So you know what he meant. And I looked at him, and anybody knows that anybody that doubts my methods and what I do, I'm out to prove you wrong. So I sent my sister immediately to get my labs while I was in New York, because I had to spend a week in New York for my first weeks of treatments. And Arundel's lost my labs for the last 2 years. I still can't get my labs. I had to get a lawyer. So now that's a whole nother battle I'm fighting, because it shows in the system that I've actually taken labs, but it says in the system under my OBGYN that I did my wellness exams. Part of my wellness exams is mammograms. But the radiology department, the diagnostic center, have no record of my labs from 2019 to 2020, which makes me wonder, did somebody drop the ball? Or, did they not fucking care because I was paying cash for my visits? But they was getting their cash because I couldn't get to another visit without paying the cash from the last visit. So I have a lot of questions about how the healthcare system really works. And now I got insurance. All of a sudden, my diagnosis is clear. So that's a whole nother battle that I'm dealing with as well. So, it's messed up. Would you say I was messed up? Huh? Hysterectomy, they didn't tell me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The funny thing is, when I considered the hysterectomy for my endometriosis, they gave me a million options, other than that. And I'm so sorry that, they did that to you. But I'm starting to realize doctors don't know everything either. And when I worked at Howard University Hospital, all these hospitals, because I was a PRN dialysis therapist for 90% of the hospitals in the DMV area, a lot of those doctors, common sense was a lot, worth a lot more than their book smarts. Because there'd be times I'd be sitting there, I'm like, if you do this to this patient, he's not going to make it tomorrow. And guess what happened? They didn't make it till tomorrow. And it don't take a rocket scientist to put 1 + 1 together to understand that 1 + 1 = 2. But because of the arrogance of the doctor and the degree, and I'm just a measly old tech, I always got dismissed. And I was always told that I was, talking, smack or whatever, especially at Howard. Oh, they hated me when I told them, y'all killing these motherfuckers. You killing these people, you killing these patients, because I knew the Fresenius machines, they didn't, but that's neither here nor there. But that let me know back then, that I can't always go off of what a doctor says, because they read a book. Hey, Mary, they read a book, and that book is what they call the Bible, and they can't deviate from the Bible, because if they deviate from the Bible, they probably won't get paid, because the corporates run everything when it comes to real healthcare. The government runs it, not doctors run it. Government, so even when I told all my doctors I was going for radiosurgery, the first thing they told me was, well, that's not the standard of American Cancer Society, whoever them motherfuckers are. But I'm watching What the Health, and I'm realizing that American Cancer Society and all of those are ran by KFC, all these other places. Susan G. Corman's ran by, all these other fast food restaurants. They sponsor them. So they're paid and structured in a way to give you something that is a standard of care, because that's the protocol. Working in the hospital, anybody working in a hospital, no. If you start working in a hospital, they train you to be able to understand if there's a certain illness. The insurance covers 15 days, but the hospital's goal is 5, because they want the 10 days of your insurance money. So I learned that working up at Howard, and I was disgusted. And I said, ever since that day, I never trusted a hospital, seeing how they train you. Remember back in the day, your mama had a baby, she stayed in the hospital a month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Now you see these young girls pop out a baby, and the next day they out pushing in a stroller. That's not healthy for the baby or the mother, but insurance is why they do it, because they're trying to beat the insurance so they can get you out, open up the bed for somebody else, so they can be able to collect on most of your insurance money without you actually utilizing the insurance. So after understanding that and knowing that, it makes me wonder, because this is another thing I was told, every doctor I went to, you got good insurance. I know they're charging me $1,000 a month. I know I got good insurance. I better have the best damn insurance, $1,000 a month. Thank God again, I could pay for it. Thank God again, I can go to all these treatments without any problems. Thank God again, I got the money to commute back and forth to New York without any, hiccups or anything like that. And it ain't been nothing but the grace of God, because had I been working at any of these other funeral homes out here, nobody would have gave a damn about my illness, nor would they been supportive, nor would they be allowing me to take as much time as I need off. I recreated my schedule, and it was nothing but God that put me in this situation. So he knew when to do this, because from what I understand from my doctors in New York and my doctors down here, because mind you, I refuse Anne Arundel. The day that I found out that I got the cancer and it wasn't explained to me, and they was telling me that this is something could have been going on for years. I'm like, well, why didn't you find it out years ago? They're telling me it could have been up to 4 or 5 years ago I could have had this cancer in my body. So if I've had cancer in my body for 4 to 5 years and I've been getting all these mammograms every year, why didn't you detect it? Oh, because you have dense breasts, Miss Morris. I have dense breasts, but at the same time, if you know I have dense breasts and you ask the typical questions of your medical history and your family with the cancers and things like that, and, why didn't you put me on a 3D mammogram, to make sure? Because I have the dense breasts. So now I'm learning, ladies, if you have dense breasts, always ask for that second mammogram if your doctor doesn't require it. Because what I didn't know is there was another mammogram that could have detected this long time ago. But because I have a dense breast, and I bet because I didn't have health insurance and I was paying cash, they just did what they had to do, get my black ass up and out of there. That's what I truly believe. So Anne Arundel will never get a dime of my money. And I hope to God that this lawyer figures out where my labs are, and I plan on suing them. And then I'll have all my funeral homes, no problem. So learning all of this has been an experience, and it's been a journey, and it's been motivating, and it's been depressing, and it's been scary, and it's been hard. I just can't lie about that. It's been really, really hard, but if it wasn't for that stranger, Miss Shirley, walking up to me today and giving me that big old hug while I was standing in Playa Bowls out the freaking blue, I probably still wouldn't have had the courage to come on here and tell people my business, because if anybody knows me, they know I don't like telling my business, and I don't like talking to a lot of people. That's why I do what I do, so people know that about me. So, it took a lot of courage, and that when she came to me and told me she just beat cancer, stage 4, I knew that was a sign, from God, just like, keep going, girl. What you're doing is working. The doctors can't explain it. Nobody can explain it. But, just keep going. Because I woke up this morning feeling nostalgic. Didn't know I was going to walk into my funeral home and see 4 different people with 4 different types of strange cancers. But knowing that and seeing that, and then I started gallbladder cancer. What in the world? Like, the food is killing us. The food is freaking killing us, and if nobody believes that, do some research. Please do research, because now that I've done more research, you can't tell me that that's not the root of my problems. You can't convince me otherwise, especially after I'm reading stories of the Iron Woman who's 86 and still running Ironman challenges, and she had stage 4 breast cancer and refused all treatments and went raw vegan and lives in Hawaii right now to this day and still kicking, and she had diagnosed with cancer back in the 80s. Or the 90s. I don't remember, but it's been over 20 years the lady's been cancer free. And she said, the one thing you want to ask about is that CA2729 marker. And I was so glad. None of my doctors did a CA2729 lab on me except for Dr. Sharbara in DC. He said, I'm going to do your marker lab. And it was right after I watched that video, because I was going in there to ask him, like, look, we need to do this lab today because I want to know what's going on. And it was just, it was like God just lined everything up between the cancer coming at the time it did, between, me being able to find a doctor in New York. And then I have my brother and sister that live in New York and New Jersey that have been very supportive and been looking out for me, when I'm going back and forth. And then my good close friend that I've known since I was like 24, 25, he's been having my back and let me stay at his house rent free, it just all lined up. 10-minute train ride to my doctor, 5-minute walk to the office, back on the train, 20-minute drive to Newark. It's just like everything just fell into place, and it's still falling into place. So I can't sit here and not believe that lady didn't come to me to keep pushing me through because of my mental state. I felt good this weekend, especially, felt good, especially after the last few weeks. I've been going through some private stuff and mental things and trying to still function my business and still trying to maintain, my sanity with this whole cancer thing, and still in the back of my mind thinking about, damn, 1 month went by and I might only have 13 more, so that, I meditated. I try, I do affirmations every day, which I've been doing anyway. And I know they work because I manifested my career. I manifested everything, my dream car, every single thing I have right now to this day. I actually manifested it. So I don't want to believe that I'm not manifesting good health. It might sound crazy. It might sound, retarded. Love you too, Stacy. And Maya, thanks for that post you posted the other day about your strong friends, girl. You just don't know. I was in a great mood, but when you posted that, I was like, damn, like, it's funny because I've always been when I had a circle, I was always the strongest out of all my friends, so that's why I had to release them, because they weren't any value to me. I was always a value to them, and it didn't help my situation. It always helped theirs. So I learned then, that balance, is key, and so, just learning, about myself over the last few years and going through this new experience, and it came at a time where my circle has completely, drastically changed. So every single person in my circle at this particular moment, I'm benefiting from in some type of way, whereas I think if I was going through this 10, 15 years ago, it would not have worked out in my favor to that degree. Now, there's some little flaws in my circle because nobody's perfect. But just knowing that and knowing where I came from and where I'm at today, 10 years ago, this would have been a whole nother scenario. I financially wouldn't be able to make these commutes to New York. I financially wouldn't be able to pay for my health insurance. I'd be probably doing the regular thing that everybody else was doing because I never heard of radio surgery. Veganism wasn't even a thing really back then to really understand, even though I don't even think my sister was a vegan at the time. It wasn't until she turned vegan that she really put me on and was like been, fussing at me about my diet and, keeping myself healthy and what I need to do, So right now I'm going through a lymphatic cleanse. I'm going through a GI cleanse, a parasite cleanse, everything, and from this book, and from what I understand, and from other testimonies from that guy's IG page that I've been looking at, lab results that he's done before and afters, I'm going to have worms coming out my body. They say your eyes start bleeding, you get pus bumps. And let me tell you, I'm not too far off from believing any of that, because when my father got stage 3, and then when he got stage 3 prostate cancer, and then when he went through his trials, my sister and then he was paralyzed because he had a major stroke twice in within 2 to 3 weeks. My sister put him on a major detox where he wasn't walking or anything. The doctor told me he never walked. And my sister said by the end of the detox, and my father's like me, he eats, okay? We eat. So, yeah, he was handicapped, so he had no choice but to eat what she was giving him. So through her diet and her exercise, my father walks. He can walk up my stairs, and I stay up 3 flights of stairs. So if you can't tell me diet ain't helping, and healing bodies, so watch What the Health. I watch Chris Beats Cancer. There's a bunch of doctors on TED Talks from Georgetown University and a whole bunch of other universities. Yeah, YouTube is, the devil. I get that. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But these are reputable doctors, and I actually researched their actual fields of practice and what they actually do. So they can't be legit and posting TED Talks and they're not getting taken down. It's just a wonder that they're now speaking on the same stuff that Dr. Sebi's been saying all along. It starts with your gut. You got to get your gut under control. He even did a diagram on how the tamoxifen and another chemo treatment. He did a grid, and it had a meter on it, and it showed that cinnamon, turmeric, and garlic, things that we eat every day, outbeat and blocked off the blood cells that make the cancer grow faster than the chemo and the chemo medications that they give you at the hospital. So it's just, I'm gonna post the book on my page, Stacy. Once I close this out, I'm gonna post it on there. I got a juicing book, but this book, this Detox to Miracle Source book, this thing, every time I read it, I get emotional because it just makes sense. Your body is an engine, and it's just like my tubes are clogged. It's just like I'm clogged up. I need an oil change. I need a flush. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm flushing my lymph nodes. So I'm probably talking all over the place. Yes, they are. Turmeric. I put turmeric and garlic and black pepper and everything, girl. But it's just crazy to me that those natural foods outbeat the stuff that these doctors give me pamphlets for and these little care baskets. I said, fuck your care baskets. I don't want your little cancer baskets. Y'all know me. Y'all know I'm a little little ornery with some stuff. So I didn't want the cancer basket because I wasn't claiming it. I didn't want to listen to nothing these doctors had to say, because at the end of the day, I felt like they looked at me as a cash cow instead of a real patient, because my thing is, again, where are my 2 years of labs? Where are they? Why is my cancer undetected, but you want to put me on chemo a month ago? And what I learned is chemo makes the cancer come back. If you really read and research, chemo makes your cancer come back, and it moves it around. That's why when people get cancer and they get chemo, it comes in the liver, it comes somewhere else, because all it does is it pushes it somewhere else. So they're telling me, the cancer cells move in your body. Cancer's always in everybody's body. It's just a matter of whether, but at this time, everybody on this timeline got cancer in their body, what I've learned. It's just dormant right now. And all you need is the right motherfucker to get in there and activate it. And that's what I did. I did the right stuff and they activated it. Yeah, they make more money off the treatment than the cure. Exactly, Maya. And once, I seen how they were treating me and, happy about my insurance, I'm like, oh yeah, they just want to sit me on chemo and give me the highest dosage and put me in hospice. It's not happening. I'm not going to let you do it. So, I feel like I'm probably just blabbing at this point. Who helped the lady cure her stage 4 cancer? Oh, you talking about CB? Because the guy that I'm actually working with is under Dr. CB. He has an actual office in Atlanta, an actual herbal shop, in Atlanta, and he's on IG, and he sometimes the government shuts his IG page down. Yeah, I am crazy. I'm always going to be crazy. I love you, Mika. Mwah. I'm always going to be crazy, girl. I'm going to go off the grid. Armor Ray was bombing me out. Take the chemo. But now that I've been letting her see my titties and they shake and everything. She said, oh, keep going, girl, keep going. So yeah, I'm going to keep going, So, I'm going to log off, I guess, because I really don't and not unless anybody want to ask me something or anything, I can't really think of anything else I need to say, but I just felt like, okay, I'm going to follow him, Ella. I'm going to definitely follow him. Hey, Drew. Hey, once I beat this shit, I'm going my goal was, once I beat this, once a month, I'm traveling to different cities, and then twice a year, I'm going to go out the country back again. But I'm just trying to wait till COVID get over and everything. Because plus, with me being with this cancer stuff, I don't want to be too far away from home. So I'm not trying to do a lot of traveling, but yeah, I'm going to make it through, by the grace of God and the power and the strength of me believing in myself and the healing in the universe. I really believe that this is something I'm going to overcome, and this is going to be more testimonies to go. Hey, Kristen, but at the end of the day, the only thing I can stress to anybody that's looking at this, please consider changing your diet. No, birth control wasn't the cause, but I did stop my birth control because I did learn that, because I don't have the hormonal, I don't have the HER cancer. I have the triple negative. That's the one that most black women get. It's the strongest, most aggressive cancer that is out. And only 90% of it affects black women. Even the lady at Johns Hopkins told me, well, I do think it's racism. That's why you got cancer. I said, racism? But I guess, whatever makes her feel better, it's just going to be, I'm going to give updates, especially after my last treatment in January, and especially in March, my last week of my herbal intercellular detox, because I can't wait to see what my labs really look like. Right now, I can't even brush my teeth with regular toothpaste. I have to brush it with herbs. I have to put, I'm not wearing deodorant. I can't wear anything foreign. Like I said, I stopped my birth control. I stopped my blood pressure medicine. Everything has been stable. And it's also, this detox is supposed to cure my endometriosis as well. So that's where, it's going to be real interesting, because I've been told I can't have children, so that, I guess that means that I'm going to have to be real careful after this daggone detox, because I may mess around and get pregnant, and I've never been pregnant in my life. So, I definitely, I ain't trying to be pregnant. No, what's it called? Geriatric pregnancy. I don't want a geriatric pregnancy. So, but yeah, no, birth control didn't cause this, Aunt Lisa. They can't determine why it came. They don't even know how I got it. It's just something common in black women, and they believe it has a lot to do with stress. But nobody will say diet. Every time I ask about my diet, the doctors clam up. you know. And then when I say I went to a raw vegan diet, oh, that's good. Even when I got my labs back the day before Thanksgiving, you know, my markers are still low. My BUN was below. All my labs now are below levels. My monocytes, my neutrophils, everything is below the base levels right now. And when I asked him about it, he said, that's good. But when I asked, well, then why do you want me to, fluoride. I can't even do fluoride anymore. Everything I touch now, I have to read it because everything I touch has cancer in it. And I'm learning that. Everything in the environment is cancerous. Microwaves, you know. So I don't even use that anymore. That's why I bought a oven with an air fryer on it so I never have to worry about that microwave ever again. Thinking about throwing it away, actually. You know, even though it came with the house. Yeah, fluoride on toothpaste. Yeah, I'm not even brushing my teeth with toothpaste anymore, Tiffany. Like I said, I'm using herbs. I think I'm using, I can tell you, actually, it's alkaline too. Hold on. This is my toothpaste right now, and this is what I'll be using throughout the rest of my journey, you know, and probably from now on, because I can't believe that I brushed my teeth with it. I'm like, ain't no way my breath ain't gonna be rocking. And between the fruit juice, the bark, and all this other crazy bitter stuff they got me drinking, and all of it is natural, heavy duty herbs, you know. My breath don't stink. I don't have them, you know, no little white balls and nothing crazy, or, you know, it's just, it's actually not bad, you know, so I'm thankful for that as well, you know, but, you know, this is my journey. This is the new life that I was given, you know, and I made a brash decision this weekend, you know, and moving forward, which was very hard because I love helping people, you know, I love helping people. Girl, I ain't have no damn baby, Stacey. And if I do, you gonna have a you gonna have a great niece up over there or something. Cause, you know, I ain't got time for no babies. Okay. I'm still trying to get my funeral home. Yeah. Go full vegan or go on a high alkaline diet. You can Google high alkaline foods. You know, I don't eat oatmeal no more because I realize oatmeal's bad for you. I use amaranth. You know, I don't eat anything. I try to stay away from gluten. I try to stay away from soy, you know, and it's crazy, Aunt Lisa, every single person that I tell that I have cancer, even my primary care doctor, because I had seen him in May and then come back in September with cancer, and he did a full exam, and he said, you know what, this is probably just part of your journey to give a big testimony. He said, I could see you being a motivational speaker. But what he doesn't understand is that's been part of my goal, because I've already written a book. I just haven't published it yet, because it just seems like every time I'm about to publish the book, some new shit comes up. So I'm like, by the time I'm done, I'm going to probably have an encyclopedia of my life, you know, of all I've been through, you know. And actually that actual book that I wrote actually is part of my business plan, which was crazy, because when I gave it to the lady that actually did my grants and everything, it motivated her to do more, you know, for the community and everything, just based off of, she read my book, she read, you know, that, because I just told her I wrote it, but she said, well, let me just read the draft, you know. And she said, girl, you know, I love you too, Kristen. Yeah, but the biggest thing is change your diet. If you can change your diet, that meat is killing us. Because when you think about it, you know, it makes sense. If they're injecting that stuff in those meats and we're putting it in our mouths, where's it going? If cows and stuff are used to eating grass, what should we be eating? We should be eating meat. It turns bad in your body. It leaves maggots in your stomach. It, you know, rots in your stomach, you know, and that's what makes sense about the colon cancer. I get that, but I just still don't get the breast. But, you know, I do believe it's just that I had some clogged up arteries and clogged up tubes, and it just hit my lymph nodes and just backed it on up. And that's why my titty blew up like, you know, a baseball. That's the only logical thing that can make sense if your lymphatic system is a drainage pipe for your whole entire body. Because I'm telling you, once he unblocked it, my tumor shrunk. It was like it just drained, you know. And I'm not trying to be funny, but my breast couldn't do this. In September, I couldn't do that. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I've been so happy, you know, that it's I have stage 3, but they suspect stage 4, but I'm not claiming that, you know, and, you know, I'm not claiming that, Kristen. Yeah. So, you know, but what I do suggest again is I'm gonna post this book on my page. I'm going to also make suggestions that people probably want to consider reading some of this information. I'll just send you a couple. I'll post all the books that I've been reading. Anybody got any questions, they can inbox me. Really, the person to go to is my sister, because I'm actually in a WhatsApp group where people from all around the world that have ailments, we all sit around and they all sit around and we try to help each other, and they might know herbs that people in America don't know. So, my sister's put me on to a lot of stuff, and she's really, enlightened me as far as informational wise when it comes to my body, anybody's body, and how it actually works. So it starts with you, and it starts with how you eat. It starts with how you take care of yourself, and I just wish everybody, I wish that, not necessarily that I did this sooner, because if I didn't do this sooner, I would not have this testimony, and I might help somebody else. I might not, who knows, but I just hope that I'm able to prove these doctors wrong, because right now they believe the standard of care is chemo, surgery, radiation, chemo, surgery, radiation. All the doctors I went to wanted to do that. It wasn't until my dad said, don't go to none of them doctors. Take your butt up New York. You can afford it. Go to New York every other week. Go see that doctor in New York. And every single person that goes to see Dr. Gil Letterman in New York, they don't look sick. I went to a cancer treatment center. Everybody looks sick. I'm in there with 90-year-olds still walking around looking normal. Everybody in there, everybody got cancer at his office, but nobody looks sick. They all look healthy, and everybody talks about how, they're thankful they found him and he's underrated. And, from what I understand, there's been lawsuits on him and a lot of controversy, but just going to be controversy when you go against the grain. I don't know. I know that for a fact. As many times as I went against the grain, I almost got blackballed in the funeral industry, which encouraged me to open up my own business, because I refuse to put people's mothers and fathers in dirty caskets. I refuse to put people's mothers and fathers on soiled tables or allow mold to grow on their bodies like most of these funeral homes like to let people do, So because I spoke up about stuff like that and went against the grain, your big time funeral homes out here, yeah, your boys out here that y'all think is taking care of your mamas and stuff, you really need to really do some heart soul searching. Because I was to the point where I never even been a drunk, but I used to have to sit outside. I used to be to work at 9. I had to sit outside from 8:45 to 9:15 every day. Got pissy drunk in my car, shots of tequila just to go into my job. And I lasted 8 months there because I could not stand to see the filth. I cleaned up constantly. I fought constantly, but I got tired of fighting. I got tired of fighting for people's loved ones that couldn't fight for themselves. And I was like, I got to fight for me. And as long as I do the work the way I know it should be done with dignity and respect, that's the most I could do to contribute to the world, instead of arguing with these imbeciles that all they care about is the bottom dollar. Just like healthcare. All they care about is the bottom dollar. So, I'm getting a little bit off tune and everything. I'm just running my mouth probably at this point. But, you guys take care. Like I said before, I'm going to post this book, and I'm going to update my journey as it goes. I will get some more labs in about a week or two, and I can update you guys on how my labs are, to let you know that, yeah, my cancer's still dormant, because it's just amazing to me that had I started chemo when they told me to, and I got those lab results, I would have been livid. Why is my cancer dormant, but you got me on this machine? They probably wouldn't have been dormant by the time I got my labs, because the chemo would have pushed it around, So, yeah, and exactly. And that's what I've been reading, Kristen. A lot of people have cured their cancer by going on a strict raw vegan diet, So that's why I know that I'm not too far off. And I'm like, my skin's starting to look better, I'm losing everything, and I'm kind of feeling good about that. I'm actually happy about that. But, unfortunately, it took something like this to force me, into eating to live instead of living to eat, but it is what it is. And, it's my journey, and I got the courage to share it today. And, so I'm 4 months in with stage 3, possibly stage 4 cancer. I was given 6 months to a year to live, but I'm not claiming any of that. As I said, I had a cousin that passed from it, and my sister wanted him to go this way, and he just wasn't ready. I love him to death. Not everybody's ready to really, it's hard. This is the fucking hardest thing I've ever done in my life, is give up everything I love. Food, juice, but now I'm drinking fresh juice, so it's supplemental. But, it's very hard to go from 41 years of crabs and shrimp and everything else you like to just boring ass fruit and vegetables. And on this journey today, I'm just eating fruit and juices till March. So yeah, that's my journey. Sticking to it. Keep you guys posted. I'll post pictures of the book as soon as I hang up. And yeah, because I gotta get ready to go, because I gotta get ready to get my train ride to New York, because I got treatment tonight. Yeah, so, but even though I'll be back tonight, and that's another blessing. The train is the bomb. Get me there in 2:45, 2 hours 45 minutes, because I catch the Acela, and then I come back on the Acela. That shit is vicious. So, I love that, I'm able to get in and out of New York like I need to, like I said, it's a blessing and a curse. And I also believe that, all of this, one more thing I'm gonna just say, I think that I know my blessings are coming, because I've been manifesting the biggest thing that I desire, which is my actual funeral home. Right now I don't have a home. I'm renting space, but it's just coincidental that it was like so many things have been hitting me since before the diagnosis. I got I just bought a brand new truck back in June. I bought a brand new Lexus. I upgraded my truck. It got hit 4 or 5 times randomly, hit and runs without a scratch. Go outside, tire blew without no warning. Just crazy scenarios that should have took me out or should have made me feel a ways. And I laughed at every one of them until I got that cancer diagnosis, So it was just like, boom, like, all right, bitch. The devil was like, all right, bitch, I got you now. Since you ain't take none of the other hits I gave you, I'm going to give you the biggest hit that you could take. And I'm going to give you cancer, And that's really how I felt. Like, he was, because what they say is when your blessings are about to come, the devil come at you 3 times fold. He come at you in all different directions with all different faces, So I was getting the faces. I was getting the evil treatment. People were just, I've had employees stealing from me, I've had to let people go, It's just been so much, I like I said, it's in my book, and, and even more sexual harassment, just a lot, It's just been a lot, that I've had to fight over the last few years just to be respected as a woman, just to be respected as a boss, just to be respected as a business owner, So the hits I got in the last few months were a cakewalk until I got this cancer. And I'm still going to claim that this is a cakewalk, And I'm going to keep the faith. I am going to keep the faith. And it's no way that God brought me this far for me not to be a testimony, for me not to be that motivational speaker, because, and then that was another thing. I've been making good money lately. So everybody around me that I do business with all of a sudden just jacked everything up. Like, yeah, you getting this money, we're going to get your money too. And I'm like, here, just take it. Like, I don't care. I'm trying to live, So, you can keep every dime I got as long as I got a life out here. That's way more important than that money, because the money will come because I manifest it every single time. So you can't take something that God has already given me, So I'm just going to sit here and say that's it. Yeah, but change your diets, people. Really just take heed. Start with what the health. What the health, yeah, that really did something to me, So, that I didn't pay attention to the first time I watched it, but after I got cancer, I went back and listened to it again. And yeah, the system has failed us tremendously. The American system has failed us tremendously, healthcare wise, health wise. They put stuff in our foods that, just read the back of the labels. Anything say what's it called? I can't even say damn word, hydra something lies, whatever. It's cancer. Don't buy nothing from the dollar store. Everything in there is cancer. Don't buy no foods from the dollar store. It's all cancer. Don't buy if you can read the back of it and you can't understand what it is, you shouldn't eat it. you know. So I'm learning this, even with the processed vegan food. So I'm learning how to make my own cheeses now. I'm learning how to make my own vegan meats, you know. I'm really like, this is like a baby step for me. This is like a baby start learning all over again. I've been cooking since I was 9. So now it's like I'm starting all 9 years old all over again, you know, learning how to cook. Yeah, hydrogenated, girl. Thank you so much. I'm a mortician, not a mathematician or English teacher. So yeah, thank you, girl. Yeah, that hydrogenated, yeah. It's cancer, you know, and we just put it in our bodies, you know, it's just amazing to me that I knew these things, that I've heard these things, but it took for it to hit me to speak up on these things, you know. So peace and blessings, well wishes to all that are out there. Please say a little prayer. I'm hoping that in another year I will definitely be sitting here and claiming my stage 3 is remission and never return, because I don't think I'm ever going to go back to the diet I used to have. Because even now, when I put the healthy stuff in my body and it goes down, it feels good. But I remember there'd be times I eat that burger and I'd eat that fish and I'd eat that stuff, and it just felt funny, but it tasted good, but it didn't feel right, you know. So now when I eat to feel good. I eat for my body to feel right, you know. So that feeling is indescribable. That feeling is something that I don't want to leave. And it's like, it's heightened everything. Okay, so hey Taquan. But yeah, it's heightened everything. So it's just an interesting journey that I'm going on right now. So again, peace and blessings. Anybody want to inbox me, got any questions, you know, you want to get in touch with my sister or the guy that's helping me with my cleanse, you know, just hit me, you know. But one thing is for sure, 2 things for certain. I'm still not going to go with the chemo. I'm still not going to go with that full radiation. I'm still not going to go with what them cutting on me. Because had I let them do all that when they told me that I needed to do all that, right now I'd be sitting on IG telling y'all they mutilated my body and made me sick. You know, and my cancer is freaking dormant. So, because I changed my diet. So, again, peace and blessings. Y'all have a good day. And I'm going to leave out. Bye.